Have you ever looked at a massive skyscraper and just wondered, how on earth did they build that? I mean, how does something go from an idea, a dream, to a real functioning thing? Well, it's not magic. It's an incredibly detailed system of paperwork. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on two of the most critical documents in that whole process, the unseen guides that make it all happen.
So let's start right there with that big question. How do you make sure that thousands of parts, from giant steel beams down to the tiniest electrical switch, all come together exactly as planned without chaos? The answer lies in a couple of really important documents that guide every single step of the journey, from breaking ground to living in the building for the next 50 years.
All right, let's meet our two main players, IFC drawings and O&M manuals. The easiest way to think about this is like buying a complicated piece of furniture. The IFC drawing is the set of instructions you use to build it, super detailed, legally binding. The O&M manual? That's the owner's guide you get after it's all built, telling you how to use it, clean it, and fix it. Two totally different guides for two totally different jobs. Let's dig into the first one. Okay, first up, IFC drawings. Now, this isn't just a plan. You got to understand it's more like a command. When a set of drawings gets that issued for construction stamp, that's it. It becomes the absolute single source of truth for every single person on that job site. It is the final word.
So what does issued for construction really mean? Well, it means the design is locked in. It means it's been triple-checked and approved by everyone who matters, the architects, the engineers, the client, even the city officials. It means it's safe and ready to build. This isn't a draft, it's not up for debate, it's the legally binding contract that says this is exactly what we're paying you to build. And believe me, an IFC package has everything. We're talking architectural drawings showing every floor and how the building will look, structural drawings detailing the literal backbone, the foundation, the columns, and then you've got the super complex MEP drawings. That's mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. These are basically the veins and arteries of the building. And it's all bundled up with thick specification books and, of course, those all-important official stamps of approval.
Okay, this is a really important distinction that trips a lot of people up. IFC drawings are not the same as shop drawings. The IFC drawing tells the contractor what to build, the big picture, the overall design. Then, the contractor creates shop drawings, which show how to actually fabricate and install a specific piece, like a custom steel beam or a specific window assembly. So one's the master plan, the other is the nitty-gritty construction guide.
And getting to a final IFC drawing is a serious process. It's not just drawn up overnight. After the design is finalized, it goes through this intense review where all the different engineers get in a room, virtually or physically, to make sure the plumbing pipes aren't scheduled to run through a main support beam. Important stuff. Then, the client and the local authorities have to sign off on it. Only after all those hurdles is it officially issued. This whole process is designed for one thing, to ensure precision and safety.
So, fast forward, the last nail is in, the paint is dry, the construction is done. But the project isn't over, not even close. Now you need the owner's manual so you can actually run this thing for the next 50+ years. And that's where the O&M manual comes in.
The Operation and Maintenance Manual is pretty much what it sounds like. It is the definitive guide to the building's entire life. And here's the key phrase, it's an as-built document. That means it reflects what was actually built, including all the little changes that happen on site. The whole point is to give the people who run the building everything they need to keep it safe, efficient, and cost-effective.
And this manual is just packed with gold. It's got the step-by-step instructions for the air conditioning system, the fire alarms, everything. It tells you exactly when to perform maintenance to prevent things from breaking. It holds all the warranties, the inspection certificates, and, so important, the emergency procedures. It is, quite literally, the building's entire brain on paper.
Putting this manual together is one of the final, critical steps of the project. The main contractor has to chase down all this information from every single specialist who worked on the job. They put together a draft, the owner's team checks it with a fine-tooth comb, and then the final version gets handed over with the keys. And nowadays, this is rarely a dusty binder in some basement. It's almost always a searchable, secure, digital document living in the cloud.
Now, in a perfect world, all these documents would be flawless. But of course, we don't live in a perfect world. Both IFC drawings and O&M manuals can get infected with what experts in the field call contaminants. These are the hidden threats, the little errors, that can cause massive problems.
So what in the world is an information contaminant? It's not like dirt or grime, it's an error. something missing, or a flat-out contradiction in the documents themselves. It's any piece of bad information that pollutes the accuracy of the plan and, you guessed it, leads to major headaches down the road.
And this table here breaks it down perfectly. You can see how these contaminants show up differently in each document. In an IFC drawing, an information error might be using an outdated version of the plan, which means you build a wall in the wrong place. But in an O&M manual, a similar error might be a missing warranty for a $1 million piece of equipment. And look at the physical hazards. An IFC error could create an unsafe structure from day one, but a bad O&M manual could fail to mention where the asbestos is. One pollutes the build itself, the other pollutes the entire building's life.
And the results of these contaminants are just brutal. We're talking about incredibly expensive rework, like having to rip out a brand new concrete floor because a pipe was in the wrong place. We're talking about massive project delays, and for the O&M manual, a mistake could lead to equipment failing, warranties being voided, and worst of all, putting the people who work in that building every day at serious risk.
So you might be thinking, wow, that's a lot of talk about paperwork. But here's why it all matters so much. This paper trail, when it's done right, is the absolute bedrock of a successful project. It's not just bureaucracy, it's a system that protects every single person involved.
When the documentation is solid, it plays 4 absolutely critical roles. Legally, it's your contract. It prevents endless arguments about what was supposed to be built. Financially, it saves a fortune by preventing mistakes and making the building cheaper to run. On safety, it's non-negotiable. It makes sure everything is up to code and flags potential dangers. And finally, for longevity, it protects the owner's investment, making sure the building runs efficiently and holds its value for decades. Which really brings us to the final crucial question. We've seen how this whole system is supposed to work perfectly, but what happens when that chain breaks? When the instructions are wrong? When the owner's manual has missing pages? What's the result? It's chaos, it's risk, it's waste, and it's danger.
Because at the end of the day, it really is that simple. Amazing buildings don't just spring out of the ground. They are meticulously planned, they are precisely built, and they are carefully cared for. And that entire chain of success starts with getting the documents right. Good documents don't just create paper, they create safe, lasting, and valuable places for all of us.